Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today we are presenting a new product. It's a prototype, and there's quite a few quirks for prototyping. It's the new Enlarger Intrepid Compact Enlarger. And yes, it's not really a full-blown enlarger. It requires a stand. So in this case, we're using a tripod. You can use a reproduction stand, enlarger, column, or something like that. We are next to my huge enlarger. We're using the base plate to basically set the tripod, and we're using a Manfrotto B-free something advanced. And basically the Intrepid Enlarger, Compact Enlarger, is a 35 medium format enlarger that does from 35 mil all the way to 6x9. In this case, the prototype is not medium format ready, has a hot spot in the center of the LED. So I started printing medium format and noticed a heavy vignetting. Max from Intrepid told me, no, this is more for 35 only. It's a prototype. So now we've done some 35 millimeter enlargements, and we are enlarging Tmax 3200, which is extremely grainy. We are using a 80 millimeter lens in this case, which you should be using a 50. But of course, the 50 was so low that the print was too big for the paper we're using. We're using 8x10 Ilford Multigrade Deluxe version 5 glossy, and we are printing on that paper right now. So basically, the enlarger is an LED enlarger, so the module's here on the back, and you have to be very careful to use a little level to level your enlarger. So be sure that you level it properly, and the table or surface that you're using, you also level it properly if you're using something that you can level. In this case, we're going with no easel, as I wanted to do it as ghetto as possible, because this is intended for people that maybe don't have a huge darkroom setup, maybe just a kitchen or a bathroom, and probably don't have an easel, which is one of the most expensive things you can have in a darkroom. So basically, we set some marks with some gaffer tape to be sure that we're fair and square, and we have been printing. So as I said, we're using the 80 millimeter at f16, if I'm not mistaken. And the enlarger has its own module, which is basically has contrast built in and also has the color option. So you can not only print color prints, but black and white with multi-contrast or multi-grade basically. So you can change the contrast. In this case, we were printing in contrast 3.5, and we did a print for 12 seconds. If you come with me, you can see in the water, we have the finished print. This is my daughter on Tmax 3200. As you can see, grain is pretty obvious. There is still a light vignette, as maybe in the enlarger I didn't set the frame exactly in the middle, but you can get the idea of what you can get. And you can see in the back the test print. This was 2 seconds base exposure, then 1 second increments, and this was 11. We went with 12 seconds and a half for this print, and I'm pretty happy, I have to say, considering that it's a prototype. It looks pretty good. This enlarger is on Kickstarter right now. I'm leaving the link below for you guys to purchase if you feel like it. It is an affiliated link, which means I get a little bit of return from making this video, and I will give you my honest opinion. Would I recommend this enlarger to someone? Yes, but only if you don't currently have an enlarger like I do, or a 4x5 like the one we have here, or a 6x9 like the one we have here. This is an extremely small enlarger. It's made for people that maybe don't have the space or don't have a current enlarger right now. I don't think it will substitute a proper enlarger, and also being a prototype, there's a couple of quirks and things I've found. For example, it has magnetic bellows, so you can also take it off and you can use it to scan. And focusing is pretty nice, but of course this is the enlarger. It would wobble a little bit when I was focusing, but it was fairly easy. Do remember you need to focus on the grain when you're using an enlarger, which this grain and focusing tool is basically more expensive than the enlarger itself, but it's what I have. And yeah, basically, like I said, you have these little masks, which is what you use to basically put your negatives, but these are decorative, as this enlarger is not intended for anything more than 35, as it's a prototype. So yeah, this is the Intrepid Compact Enlarger. I think it's a cool device. I think it has a space in the film world. It's nice to see Intrepid going more into darkroom. I like the idea of the integrated computer that will do timing, has the red safe light, it has like the white light so you can also focus, all these things. The tool is well made. It's just my version is prototype. So do take this with a pinch of salt. I have not tested the final product. I cannot recommend it based on the final product, but I think it's worth the investment they're probably asking on Kickstarter as something fun, something to start off. I would highly recommend, if you want to get really into darkroom, a proper Enlarger, a real version Enlarger, new or secondhand, is probably a safer bet in the sense that you don't have to set it up every single time, level it, and so on. But that is for the people with space, with resources, or with money. So yeah, that's all for this quick review overview of the prototype of the Intrepid Compact Enlarger. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to test the new version when, well, the final version when it's out. I hope the Kickstarter is successful. I think Intrepid is doing things towards everyone having more accessible tools for film photography. And yeah, let me know. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.